Hello everyone, welcome back to CC Group Crypto. This is Web3 Wednesdays, episode number 6. All right, episode number 6. Really excited to talk about what's going on in the space. Big thing going on right now. Unfortunately, more Bitcoin price turbulence. You know, it feels bad at the time, but I know that in the long run, this is what's best for the market. We can't go up, and up forever. I know that we have to cool off sometimes. We got to chill out so that way we can keep going up later. So I understand that. I get it. I just have to kind of live with it. Some of my altcoins are really suffering right now, but it's okay because that means I can get them at a deep discount. And that means I can win when they start to run up later. So today what I want to do is I'm going to do another video where we really focus more so on analysis and understand what's going on in the market. What I want to do is I want to let you guys know why Bitcoin is struggling so bad, why Bitcoin has decided to come back down to these $39,000, $38,000 levels, and what that could mean for the future. So if that sounds good to you, make sure you stay tuned and let's go ahead and get started, guys.
Got Adidas in my bag, gonna check 'em. Members only, gonna check 'em. Gonna check 'em, gonna check 'em. First impressions.
Okay, so what I want to do is I'm actually going to just go right into the charts. I want to show you guys what I'm seeing, what I think is going to happen. And again, I want to pull up the stock market. I want to show you guys what's happening in the stock market and what that is doing to the price of Bitcoin and why we're seeing these fluctuations and what that could mean for the future. So let's go ahead and get right to the chart. Okay, guys, so what we're looking at here is what's called the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is basically an index that tracks the top 500 companies in the US, or the top 500 companies that are trading on the stock exchange. So very important metric. So what we see here, this red line is the support level for the S&P 500. As you can clearly see, this bounced off of this support line, right? Came down to it. It's done the same thing here. It's done it multiple times. So the question is why? Why does this matter? Why did it bounce off the support line? Why do we care about this? What exactly is going on? Well, I'm going to tell you. It's actually pretty simple. This week, we have earnings calls for large tech companies, okay? Earnings calls are basically at the end of every quarter, right? There's 4 quarters in a year, every 3 months. These companies are required, since they are publicly listed on the stock exchange, they are required to report their earnings every quarter to their shareholders. So they have earnings calls this week, and those earnings calls are not going great. They're basically coming out and saying that, hey, we didn't have a great quarter. You know, we weren't profitable, we lost money, or we did not hit our targets, right? We didn't make as much money as we said we were going to make. So you have very large companies like Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, Meta, or Facebook. They all have earnings calls this week. Microsoft's earnings call went okay from what I understand, but other companies like Amazon, and Apple and Meta aren't looking great. And so in anticipation of these earnings going bad, the stock market started to sell off. Okay. And as we talked about before on the channel, there's a strong correlation between the stock market and Bitcoin, right? So as the S&P decided to sell off and fall down to its support level, Bitcoin did the same exact thing, right? So again, this is another red line that I've had here for quite a while. This is a support level that we plotted a while ago. Now, there's something that is not that great about what's happened here. Bitcoin has fallen below this yellow line. This yellow line was a trend line that I had plotted. This trend line was basically showing the point at which Bitcoin was bouncing off of this line as the price was kind of slowly rising over time, right? And trending in a certain direction. As you can see here, right, it came down and touched that line a couple times. This time it came straight through that line, right? And not only did it come straight through the line, it didn't go back above the line before the price closed out for the day. It came down to support level and held here. So this is not great for short term, right? This means that Bitcoin may be falling out of its range here, out of its ascending trend here, ascending wedge, and that it's come down and retested this support level. I don't see a strong bounce here, and that's a problem. I don't see a touch down and then a run up, right? If we look at other areas where we've touched on this red line, like here, for example, we can see we came down, we touched the line, and then we immediately came back up, right? Pretty strongly. I don't see that right now. We're going to see what happens over the next day. The next day is going to be super critical, right? Super, super critical for you guys to pay attention over the price of Bitcoin over the next day or so. We really want to see Bitcoin get back above $40,000. If in the next day, we don't see Bitcoin break 40K, if it lingers around these levels, I think it's going lower, okay? If we do not break above 40,000, I see Bitcoin's price actually going even lower than where we are now. Now, how low could it go? We talked about this before in the past, right? We could see Bitcoin easily come back in touch around these $36,000 levels, potentially even a $34,000 level. There are some other levels below this as well, but we could definitely see the mid to low 30s if we don't bounce. So what we need here, in order to prevent that, is we need a really, really strong bounce. The problem is, the only way we're probably going to get a really strong bounce is if the S&P decides to do a nice strong bounce too. So we need a strong bounce, but we have earnings calls this week that are going to be negative and cause massive sell-offs potentially for very, very large companies, right? The bad thing is that these companies that I'm talking about, these Microsofts, Amazons, Apples, they make up like 20% of the S&P 500, 20% of its value. And so if you have 20%, that 20% doing poorly, that's going to tank things pretty bad. And so if we see the S&P not strongly bounce here, if we see it come below this line here, this 41.41 line, just hold on, guys. We're going down like the top of the roller coaster. It's going to get ugly. So I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. I don't want to be all negative. Again, like I said, if we get a strong bounce of the S&P, maybe the earnings calls go, better than what they are thinking. If they do, and we get a nice bounce and Bitcoin decides to go back above 40,000, then I think we're going to come back and play around again on these higher levels. But if we don't get back above 40K, if we hang around here and we don't get the bounce, 36,000, 34,000, potentially lower, but I'm not gonna go down that road yet. We're gonna wait and see what happens. So I'm gonna give this guy about a day or so, see what it does, and then I'll have a more clear picture of what's going to happen next. Maybe I'll do another video in a day or two. That's an interesting idea. So maybe in a day or two, maybe. I'm not making any promises. I am moving this week, so we'll see how that goes. But maybe I'll make another video in a day or two, if we get some good action, and I'll think about doing that. So in the meantime, that's what I have for you guys. Pay attention to the S&P, pay attention to Amazon, pay attention to Meta, pay attention to Apple, right? They have their earning calls coming up. Pay attention to these companies, pay attention to their stock prices. If their stock prices start to go down, the S&P will go down and Bitcoin will go down with it. So pay attention to those over the next day or so. This week is super critical. We're at a very critical support level. We need a strong bounce or we are going to bite the dust from here. All right. So hopefully I didn't ruin your night by delivering that information, but just trying to be honest with you guys, give my honest opinion on where I think the markets are going. All right, that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for checking this out. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I am moving this week, so I have a lot going on, but I had to get this video out because this is such a big deal right now. So I really appreciate everybody's support. If you could, do the usual, like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that. Really appreciate you guys' help. Really appreciate your support. You help me out tremendously. I'm going to keep doing these videos, keep doing this content, and keep giving you guys this information. All right, I am out of here. I will see you in the next one, whether that is 2 days from now or next week. It's going to be a surprise. So stay tuned. Peace. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I greatly appreciate your support. Quickly, here, before you click out of this, I just want to say one thing. Please make sure, if you haven't already, click below in the description. There is a link to my website that will allow you to get a free copy of my ebook, A Beginner's Guide, 5 Mistakes to Avoid When Entering the Crypto Market. Guys, this ebook is absolutely amazing. It's completely free. And what it's going to do is going to take the knowledge that I gathered when I first entered and made mistakes, and it's going to transfer it to you in an easy to read and easy to understand format. It's going to allow you to enter the market and avoid the mistakes that I made when I entered the market, right? I want everyone who's on this channel, everyone who's watching, I want you all to have the opportunity to be successful from the start. And so this book is my way of saying thank you for supporting me, is my way of transferring knowledge to you and allowing you to come into this game with a full understanding of the mistakes that you want to avoid. So please make sure you click down below in the description, get your free copy. Thank you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.